Alright, welcome everybody to D&D Civil War, A Realm Awakened, session number 8, An Assassin's Fate. You guys all ready over here?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Indeed.
Alright. So, let's see. Why don't we go back to the beginning and how this all started? Because it feels like it's been a long time since we've played. The campaign started with everybody basically grouping together for what was becoming known as the Festival Negotiation Committee. Many members within the community and within the city were selected to participate in this, most of them having some form of connection to either the royal family or, in the case of just getting a random invite from the prince of the realm or the section of the city, Centaurum's Cross, that she was from. As everybody gathered, or attempted to gather, with Vivian making her way here from the Sword Coast, everybody makes their way over to the subterranean Lightning Realm, making their trek southwest towards Upper Toledo for this big and important meeting where things begin to go awry very quickly. I was here that Jest, the changeling of the party, was accosted by two very large thugs who basically informed her that they didn't like her because she appeared as a drow, but they kind of saw through the guise of this change that she had taken. Not really wanting to give in to them, the party stood up against them and fought and held their own pretty easily. Two men put up a little bit of a fight, but it appeared that after all of this, it was a bit of a distraction, as the entire party cleared out of the safe area that they were in, or what they believed they were in, and cleared out into the main cabin where all of the action was taking place. Ashkala, one of the Gladamain High Council, remained within this train car, and unfortunately for her, she wasn't really alone after everybody else left. An assassin would pop out of nowhere, attempt to accost her, but she would quickly react, knocking the individual to the ground, reaching over, bringing the train car to a stop by sounding the alarm, which caused the entire car to go into a shutdown. I was here that the party was swooped up and gathered by the members of the Ebon Company and taken to kind of like an interrogation room to be able to discuss with them the things that had transpired on the train. Went pretty well for the most part, everybody sticking to their story and being pretty truthful, just attempting to discard her wonderful identification card that she had by cutting it up and trying to swallow it. But outside of that, it went pretty well. Then the Queen showed up and pretty much told the guards to release these individuals, and they were to come with her and make their way back finally to Upper Toledo. When they would get there, despite everything that had transpired, they were finally informed of what they were doing, going around and ensuring that every ward within the city, got the help that they needed to properly represent themselves for this upcoming Festival of Remembrance. As part of this, they were given several tasks, ranging from helping to organize small militia to just going through and retrieving artifacts, or in the case of some of the other wards, going and listening to some bards perform, and bring in the right kind of performances for this festival. After settling and doing all of this, the party immediately went to go gather information and headed over to the registry building in Upper Toledo. It was here that they would meet an older woman named Hilda Gray, who really she was a government employee, and she really didn't care what the party wanted. What seemed like an eternity later, the party finally got everything they needed, had the right addresses for all of the inns that they were going to visit, and then turned and went to the north, where they went to the Hall of Remembrance to try to get a better understanding of everything that had transpired during the fall of the Ascended, as it had become known here within the Living Isles. As they begin to wander through this museum, seeing various paintings and artifacts that were remaining from the events that took place during the fall of the Ascended, a lot of questions arose. Many people questioning the wing of this museum that was dedicated to Kai Gladamain, or Tyrus, as he was known during this era. But then, as they continued to look and checking out many of the artifacts that were here, a few of them felt a voice inside their head, something calling to them. Taking a few of them, unable to resist this voice or this calling, would find themselves in almost like a dream state, appearing directly in front of none other than Kai Gladamain himself, who gave them a warning that the relic that they were told to go and retrieve really wasn't what they thought it was. And should the drow get their hands on this artifact, it wouldn't remain theirs for long, as it was an item that the Lich Queen was currently seeking. Taking this information, the party quickly retreated, going back to Celebrant Plaza, attempting to form plan of attack with this, trying to understand everything that they had learned from Kai and how to really present this as they move forward. The party opted to get back on the SLR once again, head back southwest to Upper Toledo, where they would sit down with the Queen and explain everything that they had saw. It was here that the Queen told them that her fears, the things that the leader of I'm trying to remember the guy's name here. Hold on, give me a second. I'm looking through my list. I have it here somewhere. Yeah, it's fine. I can come back to it later. One of the representatives coming from, I believe it's the followers of Ezitor, and I do have that. He would sit down and kind of gave her a bit of an ominous warning, saying that things would be different this time. Taking this information, the party would take off and start setting off into the city and kind of exploring and seeing some of the various sites, starting with one of the inns, where they saw a very convincing, though not entirely accurate, retelling of the events of the fall of the Ascended. After taking time to get to see them, the party would head northeast, heading over towards the dock ward, where they attempted to understand a little more of what was going on with the Warforged, with the potential uprising within the city here. They would head back over into the Selavash ward, finding not just one, but thousands of Warforged lining the docks, standing in solidarity from one end to the other as far as the eye could see. The docks continued, though it was a little very tense for everybody that was visiting. They would turn and head up a little bit northeast, trying to find the captain of the dock and trying to get to the bottom, trying to understand what was really going on with this situation. It was here that they would find the dock master, Joseph Vernala. As they found him, they began to ask him questions, and he really wasn't being very cooperative with anybody. He really didn't care. He had the situation under control. The docks were still going. Nothing was being stopped. He wasn't really concerned about the Warforged not doing their jobs. As they managed to make their way up to see the dock master, they did pass one Warforged that seemed to be doing things a little different than the others, standing almost like on a soapbox and shouting out using a thermotic resonator. He would shout out the demands that the Warforged had, saying that they would no longer deal with the atrocities and being treated unfairly compared to the humans of the docks. This individual, named Sarge, would not be there when they came back, attempting to find him and bring the dock master to him. He wasn't there. The party attempting to figure out really what to do at this point would lead to several really odd attempts to get the attention of the Warforged, eventually leading to just pushing and shoving on one of the Warforged, saying basically, "Why won't you wake up?" To which they did. And immediately all of them stopped, turned around, facing directly towards the city, before they would once again shut down and go dormant back on the docks again. From here, the party left, headed a little further up the docks, making their way all the way up to the small isolated islands to the north. It was here that they would meet Captain Alistair Larandar, the kind of, not really the leader of this ward, but he was in charge of the Windwrights Guild, the guild who takes care of all of the modes of transportation coming in and out of the city of Kalido, at least from the docks here. Taking some time to get to know him, he seemed pretty interesting, very charismatic, very ready to be helpful and explain things and do everything that he could. Here they would learn that not a lot has changed. There's nothing that really stood out to him as to why the Warforged would be trying to cause an uprising. After all, dock workers, as far as the Warforged are concerned, were some of the highest paid jobs that a Warforged can earn within the city of Kalido. He did mention, though, that all of this started not too very long ago, a few weeks at most, and it happened kind of coincidentally at about the same time that a bunch of the Warforged received these new docents, which are basically small magic items that are inserted into them. They give them like power, like additional power, makes them a little stronger, allows them to perform their tasks a little easier. It wasn't uncommon, however, that these docents were replaced often. Every couple of years they would replace him. So outside of that, he had no other ideas, and said if you had any questions about the docents, he would send you down into the trade ward so that you could go to speak to somebody from House Caneth. Taking that information, the party immediately started heading towards the trade ward with a tip-off that Sarge had been found after the party was looking for him once he disappeared from the docks. They would follow the little boy who was leading them there and find Sarge. And it was here that they would have a bit of a discussion with him. Things would get a little bit heated. Midway through this conversation, and people starting to stop and pay attention to what was going on, the conversation was brought to an abrupt end as a metal shard pierced through the armor of the chest of this construct, instantly making it fall dormant and no longer responsive. The party would look around, trying to gather any kind of intel they could, finding the would-be assassin running away and ducking down through many of the streets within the trade ward. Calypso would reach forward, grab onto this shard, and rip it out of the chest of Sarge, leaving this dormant Warforged standing within the city as everybody darted to go and catch him. As they chased him through the city, they finally tracked him down to a small house where he had ducked within. Party, quickly trying to respond, would burst through the door, and as such would be greeted by 4 individuals, 3 of which were wearing the garb of a group that Calypso would eventually learn was the Emerald Claw, this kind of tan and green tabard that was covering them.
Forge, can I remind you of something?
Sure.
We had sent guards in there before we went in there.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You did. And when they went in, you guys heard the combat within, which then prompted you to go in. And as soon as you opened the door, that's when you found all of the guards were dead. That is absolutely right. The door opens, and the party, seeing the Evan Company guards already killed, would spring into action, but not before the assassin would attempt to climb up a ladder and quickly escape out one of the windows in the side of the building. As he took off, the party stayed behind and fought pretty hard. These Emerald Claw individuals were putting up a hell of a fight, trying to keep everybody alive here. And the party would eventually take out all but one, leaving one of them bound and laying on the ground to investigate later. But the others, 3 members of our party, Celeste, Freddy, and Just, would begin to go and track the assassin down, splitting the party, leaving 3 of them behind at this manor and 3 heading north, following the trail of the assassin, which is actually where we pick up tonight's session. Let's see. So
we have guards in there right now, don't we? I had brought guards for the criminal.
Correct. Yes. You had notified the guards that things went really badly and you need their assistance. You had spoke to them and kind of informed them there was an assassin. One of the Warforged was killed in the trade ward. The guards that were here that you originally flagged down were also killed for their efforts. But you did leave one member of the Emerald Claw alive for investigations and things of that nature.
Okay, just want to make sure that
So what would you like to do?
Do I know that Calypso has the shard?
You guys watched her reach forward and grab onto it, and it kind of shocked her a little bit as she was pulling it out. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, then I'm going to trail after the guards and tell them about the shard that killed the Warforged. And I did that Arcana check, so I have a vague idea of what it was as well. So I'm going to tell them about the shard and how it's that dragon thingy from the other thing. I can't remember.
You got a very faint glimpse, or you kind of noticed the way that this basically, and I'll kind of re-explain how this is made. It's basically this 8-inch long metal, like almost like a rod that's been brought to a point, but it has razor sharp edges along two of the sides of it, like if you did a north and south pole of it. Along those edges, that's what you believe is allowing it to pierce through the kind of plated skin that Sarge had, being a battle-ready Warforged. But built into this is a Kaibar dragon shard that the metal ends of this shard actually grip onto.
Yes, I make sure to tell them about that for sure. The dragon shard. That's what it was. That's what I do.
Okay. Circe and Calypso, anything you want to do?
Calypso's going to look to her sister, kind of eyeball the shard a bit, raise an eyebrow.
I'm gonna hit the shard with an Arcana check, I suppose.
Okay.
So I don't know that fancy identify.
Okay.
Hey, I'll take that as the first roll back.
Sure, that's a pretty decent first roll back. You do know, based on some information that you have between your stay here in Kalido, and I imagine as children or growing up, your parents probably at some point took you to Eberron, would be my guess. You do know that the Kyber Dragon Shards do have a reaction to magic. They can hold spells or hold magical properties that can be used in any certain scenario. You believe that to be the case with this, especially considering the way that it reacted with the construct. Your knowledge with Arcana gives you an idea that a Kyber Dragon Shard is very potent with constructs. But outside of that, don't really know. You can't really identify it. You can't identify what this item actually does other than, obviously, kill a construct.
Can I, maybe keep an eye on the prisoner to make sure he doesn't run away or try to kill us? I know he's bound, but I just, want to make sure.
Yeah, you can keep an eye on him, and the two guards, as they show up, immediately split. The one going up to the group of dead bodies, kind of checking him over and making sure, doing whatever he can to kind of pull them to the side and prepare them and take care of their bodies as much as he can, verifying obviously that they are dead. The other guard turns and looks over at the soldier and kind of scoots his foot and kind of kicks him to get him to sit up straight and stands over him, and you kind of listen in as he begins to interrogate a bit with this this Emerald Claw soldier. You could tell he doesn't know and maybe doesn't care who the Emerald Claw are. He just cares that several of his friends are now dead. As he interrogates, you listen in, and the Emerald Claw guy's not giving up information. He's very adamant that he's not telling anything. To the point where, at one point, the Emerald Claw individual looks up at him and kind of snarls and kind of spits at his feet, just showing complete disdain for this officer.
Would it be a history check to see if I know what the Emerald Claw is?
I believe Calypso did that.
Oh, okay.
She hasn't told you guys anything about it yet, but you guys, I mean, this is all fresh and just coming to an end. You have plenty of time, Calypso, if you wanted to give a brief, very basic understanding of the Emerald Claw. If you wanted to do that, I could kind of refresh everybody's memory.
These guys are a big deal, not like the schlubs our parents dealt with. And then she goes into a bit of detail.
The amount of detail she gives is the Emerald Claw were followers of the Lich Queen. They were kind of like the elite squad of militia that she would gather to basically do her bidding. Although they are technically just members of the Church of the Blood of Vol, they have inside information that most people didn't, which was they were truly following the Lich Queen. Like, they had orders that were given to them that they were told, the Lich Queen said this, you do this, and this is exactly what they did. Now, whether that was true or not, with the Lich Queen actually existing, is up to speculation. Many people in Eberron have believed that the Lich Queen's been dead for thousands of years. There's no true way of knowing, and nobody that does know that information is going to give those kind of details out willingly. As far as what Kai was telling you, yeah, you kind of get this feeling like as you're hearing the story of the Emerald Claw and how they were literally the soldiers of the Lich Queen, it makes sense. You make the connection. Yeah, Kai told us the Lich Queen was coming. These appear to be those kind of members, especially if, you know, what Calypso is remembering is true.
I am gonna go up to the guard who's interrogating the prisoner and, hello, sir?
He'll stop and, you know, mid-sentence as he's talking with this kind of, like, disgusted talking to this Emerald Claw soldier, will turn around and look at you and, oh, yeah, what do you need?
I was wondering if I could talk to the prisoner after you're done, of course.
And kind of looks at you and raises an eyebrow and, all right, I guess I don't see the harm in it. Kind of looks away and looks back over at this Emerald Claw, kind of grabs him and picks him up, setting him on this bench as he sits down and continues trying to interrogate him. The guard up to the north is kind of finished all of his preparations and doing everything he was going to do here with the bodies, and begins to make his way back outside, kind of to stand guard and wait. You hear as he steps outside, you kind of watch as he reaches over onto his uniform and clutches onto something on his shoulder. As he does, you hear him say, "We have 5 dead bodies here." He begins to rattle off the name of the streets and says, if we can send more units here, it would be very much appreciated. A few more minutes pass, and the guard, getting kind of frustrated with this Emerald Claw individual, stops and turns around and shakes his head and kind of scoffing and a bit under his breath says, "Yeah, I doubt you're going to get any information from him," as he starts walking out, also making his way outside.
I am going to sit next to the claw individual.
Mm-hmm.
And what race is he?
He is human.
Okay. So, 1 second. I'm going to look at my spells, see if I have anything.
If only you had Zone of Truth, right?
I do not.
Love that spell.
It's a level 2 spell.
It's a level 2 spell.
When
Quick, let me go get a nap first, and then we'll come back to this.
I think my favorite iteration of a DM's reaction to someone casting Zone of Truth, the character that they were using it on knew that they were hit by it, so they just didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I know, I invoke my right to remain silent.
Yep.
It's like, you son of a bitch.
So, I'm gonna just. I'm gonna talk to him. Hello?
He just looks over at you.
My name's Vivian. And, I'm assuming you're probably not gonna tell me your name, correct?
No, Vivian, I'm not. But I'll
Cool.
remember yours.
Okay. So, I hear you're an Emerald Claw member. And from what I understand, that means you served the Lich Queen. Is that correct?
He looks at you and kind of grins. She's coming, you know. You're not going to stop it.
See, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, actually, is because we've heard that. And I wanted to know what you knew. Because, you see, someone told us that she was coming. And you've just kind of confirmed it. I was wondering if you would tell us about that.
What would you like to know? That your souls are forfeit? Yes. She'll have them soon enough, don't worry.
Well, to tell you a secret, she ain't gonna get my soul, but she might get these other people's.
Seriously, just looks at Vivian like, what? What?
But I'm curious, like,
Smooth, Vivian. Very smooth.
but what do you mean she's gonna take people's souls?
He looks directly forward at Circe and says, "Can you explain to this poor girl exactly how a lich works?"
Circe drags her finger across her neck and then makes like a "I'm dead" thing, and then like spookily starts waving her arms around like she's casting magic.
He picked the mute to try to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna nod my head at Circe, and I'm gonna just move on. So, she needs something, though, to come back, right? That's what we were told. Is that true? Just trying to see if our source is trustworthy or not.
Once again, he looks at you and kind of gives that same grin. I don't know. Your source seems to be pretty accurate so far. I don't know. You're not really worth my time. You, on the other hand, looks over at Calypso this time.
Hello.
Tell me, what is your part in all of this?
Oh, I don't know. And she kind of does that thing where she, like, rotates her arm, other than being the one to, kick your guys' sorry butts. We're very interested in this Lich Queen. Tell us anything, something useful. I'm sure you don't want to just die monologuing like a second-rate henchman.
He kind of chuckles and says, everybody is a second-rate henchman to the Lich Queen.
Wow. Straight out of the, welcome pamphlet. That's good. Do you have anything useful to tell us, or...
He looks at you and grins and says, No, I'm not going to tell you anything. In fact, I've been talking to you guys for way too long.
Wait, hold on. So, you have nothing interesting to say. Okay, hold on real quick. And she's going to look to Cersei and kind of give her a nod and gesture towards the door.
I'm going to go close the door.
Great. I think we need to bring something back to Mother to let her know that there's a new cult to keep an eye out for. Don't you?
Oh, you're asking me.
Yes.
I'm like, why are you asking this guy about this? Why? I don't think his opinion on the subject matters.
It's a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question, henchman. Hold out your hand.
His hands are bound behind his back.
Yes, I know. That was out of character.
I thought you were gonna take his tongue.
She takes out her hand axe, and she's probably going to just take his thumbs. There we go.
Okay. As you reach for your hand axe and begin lunging forward, does a 15 hit?
No.
Circe, as you begin to turn and walk back towards the rest of the group, you watch as the skeletal hands begin to push their way through the ground and clutch on to Calypso's legs. Calypso panics and starts kicking him away, trying to keep this chill touch spell from actually catching hold.
He can do that without having his hand motions? All right.
He can move his hands.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't stop it. So
no. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not worth. Yeah. So I'm gonna chop off a thumb.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, wait, Cersei, wait.
11.
No. I mean, he struggles against it. You're unable to actually do it, but that's okay because I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you anyways.
Yay, thumb.
Yay, thumb. As you do, and you begin to chop off this thumb.
I cover his mouth with my hands so he doesn't make noise.
Good. Now we're all now all of us are gonna get in trouble.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
13. Hey, that's not
No, that's Vivian.
as awful.
I'm sorry, Vivian.
Oh, okay.
Because she's trying to reach up and grab onto his mouth. Yeah, you reach up, and as soon as you see Calypso turning and trying to chop off this thumb, you immediately look over, and you reach up and you grab onto his mouth, and just a split second before he immediately lets out a shout from this hand axe cutting through. You kind of clutch onto the back of his head, keeping him silent, and here outside, everything okay in there?
Perfectly fine.
Okay. I go back to watching the door.
I'm just gonna whisper to...
Right. Well, I think we're done here. She's gonna like grab a bit of cloth and like put it where the severed thumb used to be to kind of staunch the bleeding a bit. And she's like, "You just hold on to that and not try and cast any more spells."
Thirsty,
If
you're
you do
the
anything-
firebolt? Because you could just cauterize the
I do.
Yeah, she sure does.
She just kind of like does that thing where like she snaps her fingers and like makes a little blowtorch with one of her fingers, and she just cauterizes it.
I was gonna say that's not necessary because I could just lay on hands to this guy at one point, but
He'll remember it now.
that's fair.
He'll remember this really fucked up torture scene.
That's true. Look,
Wow.
Vivian. Look Vivian in the eyes while she's cauterizing that wound.
And I have black eyes, no pupils, nothing.
Man.
They're all black.
Gaze into her void.
All right.
I feel like we need Jest here to complete this just terrible person ensemble that we have going on here.
Calypso's gonna like lean in to him and say, "Listen, hench, don't fuck with the Church of Kaifon. We're not scared of your Lich Queen."
His eyes kind of narrow, just kind of glares at you.
And I'm also going to be like, and don't mess with Mephistopheles either. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Calypso doesn't say anything, but there's that sudden text above her that just says Calypso will remember this, because that's the first time she said the name out loud.
Absolutely true.
It absolutely is the first time that she has said this.
I'm trying to be intimidating AF.
Yeah, don't mess with my boyfriend either. Ugh.
My boyfriend's like the ruler of a circle of hell. He'll beat you up.
Vivian, as this is going on, your gaze kind of drifts away from the scenario that is right in front of you and over towards the dead bodies off to the northwest, to which you see all three of these guards kind of interacting with each other.
I'm sorry, come again?
I'm like in the middle saying, and don't mess with Mephi. I'm gonna walk right over there, I guess.
As that is going on, oh no, I closed it. One sec. I was trying to zoom out and I accidentally closed it. You are way over there. Northeast.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. That looks right. Okay. Celeste, let's see. I'm looking for your survival roll. You rolled a 24. Your survival roll told you as soon as you stepped out and kind of around the building, you were able to track the footsteps of this assassin through kind of going north. heading off into this area that looks like a bunch of small buildings and shops that you're heading into. But then it immediately begins to turn to the right, heading over between buildings over here. I don't hear any of the music. Here we go.
I continue to follow the tracks.
Okay. As you continue through, you're able to make it all the way out of this area, making it to about there. Before I'm going to need you to give me another survival check.
With advantage.
Sure.
I have Hunter's markup.
Yeah, oh, yes, you're right.
Good for you for remembering that.
Good on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I have no spell slots left. There's nothing else I could have spent it on.
That's a fair point.
Because I did forget that. I forgot you did have Hunter's markup.
16.
16. Begin to watch, kind of kneeling down and kind of checking the dirt path here of the road. You notice a lot of footsteps begin to continue directly east, and then you kind of glance north and think, that, yeah, I can't tell. That kind of looks like it. But then you immediately, you're like, no, I got to stay this way, and immediately begin to continue heading towards the east, seeing what you believe are the footprints of this assassin heading almost right into the center of this intersection. And Jess, you are with them as well. As you get to this intersection, you kind of look, and you wander forward, and the trail kind of goes a bit cold on you. That is until you hear the sound of shouting of a woman down to the south, hearing her kind of shouting off some profanities. As you glance down to the south, you see the individual kind of running past as he turns to his left towards this large rectangular building, and you watch as he bursts through the door and immediately disappears within it.
Well, I'm running that way.
Yep.
Do you want us to roll initiative or anything, or?
You can roll initiative if you would like. I won't tell you no. Let me clear it first. Actually, no. I don't want you to roll initiative because it's not going to carry over. So I'll have you wait. No initiative yet. And let's do this.
So what's the building he just ran into?
This building, it's a very large, like rectangular ranch-style house. As you're running up to it, up on the northern end of the building, I need to turn this down because it's getting super loud. On the north end of the building, you see a window, and then on the west end of the building, you see just a door. As you kind of look over the window's obscured by some wooden shutters that are closed and kind of sealed into place. These kind of wrought iron bars keeping them completely closed. You kind of peek in, and as you're running closer, you're trying to get a view through the window. But even between some of the cracks of the shutters itself, you see darkness inside.
So he just kind of kicked the door in.
Yep, and as you kind of wander up to this front door, you take a look at it, you notice it's pretty well abused. A bunch of cracks along the door itself and along the casing. Parts of the door are even kind of just barely held together, like metal banding holding pieces of it into place.
Can I check and see if it's like rigged as a trap?
Sure. You can give me an investigation check. And I'm going to do this. We're moving here.
Ooh, new map.
New map.
Oh, no.
Nope. No traps. Celeste. Jess. And Freddy. Did Freddy? There it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna head inside.
Okay. Now I want you to roll initiative, please.
Okay.
I need to pull this up. Sorry, Chad. I know I'm not very talkative here tonight. I'm just doing what I can here. The best I can. Okay. Freddy? And can everybody see this map?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. With that, Jest, you were actually the first to be able to react.
Even with a critical Freddy still.
So I was like, oh. -1. She is going to... Can she look through the cracks? Is there anything visible?
You can, if you're wanting to try to... So, as I kind of explained, like, as you were running by, like, you could see the window up to the north, like, up in this area, and you could kind of peek, because the shutters themselves were kind of worn and busted in many places. And there were several sections that, like, you could peek in, but it was dark. Like, you couldn't actually see inside from there. You can spend your action to attempt to give it a better look if you want. Get closer to the door and investigate a little closer. Otherwise, I'll probably give you a similar description.
How high up is that window?
It's standard height, so it comes up about like 3 feet before you get to the bottom of the windowsill. It's just a normal like ranch style house, so the windows are pretty close to the ground.
Alright, she's going creep around this corner, what I should say Sarge is, and look from below to try to like peek in.
From up here?
Yes.
Okay. As you walk around, getting a little bit closer look at this window, you kind of peer in, and it's dark, like super dark, like almost unnatural dark.
Let's see what I got. Well, she's... And it's daylight currently outside, right?
Correct.
Alright, she's gonna creep back around and do no further action.
Okay. All right. Using the rest of your movement to come back around.
Yep.
Freddy.
Yep. Well, if I will use my action to thaumaturgy and shout for the guards letting me know we found the assassin.
Okay. You use thaumaturgy and shout. Obviously, not an immediate response, as there are none anywhere really close to you to be able to answer the call.
Right. And then with my movement, did Celeste go into the building or not?
Celeste's turn has not come up yet.
Oh. Oh. Move up. Go through the door.
You'll go through the door?
Yep.
Okay. Put you here. Let me find this one sec.
Let me find this convenient trap I set up.
Let me find this convenient trap I just set up. You reach forward, grabbing onto the latch, and open the door. As you open the door, you look into pitch black nothingness. The sunlight that would beam in through this doorway just evaporates right in front of you.
Of course.
Anything else you would like to do?
I'll just stand aside, see if I'll see if Jester or Celeste can do anything about it, or they have.
Okay. Celeste, you watch as Freddy walks forward, opens the door to pitch black.
Celeste is going to walk past him, and I want to try to make a perception check to find this guy.
Okay. You are going to do so at disadvantage. Actually,
Normal.
What's that?
If I have disadvantage, it'd be normal. I have Hunter's Mark.
Consent. Yeah, I get. Okay, yeah, I'll give it to you at normal. Yep, you're right. Looking through, you see the footsteps leading all the way to the doorway, and as soon as it hits this pitch black nothingness in front of you, it dissolves and you start to lose track of it. You sense him or them close, but you can't tell exactly where.
I'm stepping into the house.
Okay. 1 second. Anything else other than stepping in?
That used my action, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, no.
Okay. Jest. You watched as Celeste entered into the chamber. If you would like to move, you can move. I mean, that kind of... So, Celeste, that... I don't know if that's intentional, like if you're wanting to stay somewhere close to Freddy. Is that
Went in.
intentional or?
No, I was just trying to say I went in.
Okay. You'll be able to walk forward. You can take another step forward. And then suddenly you feel yourself run into something.
Is it a wall?
It's not a wall. Jest, what would you like to do?
She's gonna actually try to sneak in.
Okay.
And then go to the right. Her right.
Okay, so are you going the same way they went in?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to go that direction? Okay. Alright. Is that all your movement?
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
roll for my stealth real quick.
Okay. Okay.
Here. That's it.
Alright. Freddy, you watch as Celeste walked into the chamber, just kind of crouching down and walking into the chamber as well. What would you like to do?
Do I notice if any like guards or anything have like
You begin looking around, still don't see anybody. Only 6 seconds has passed, so not much time just yet.
That's fair. I would like to hold action, stand on just the threshold of the door.
Okay.
Either Jest or Celeste are attacked, I would like to cast. I will cast Toll the Dead at whatever the offending thing is.
Okay. When you say at the threshold, you mean between it?
Like right on the edge of the door. Like maybe I don't want to go all the way into the dark. Because I'm assuming it's magical dark and I can't see either of them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But like just right on the edge of the doorway.
So standing just outside of where the door was, basically. Because that the darkness kind of encompasses the entire inside of this building here. So okay. Holding your action in case either of them are hit. Okay. As Freddy stops and begins looking around the chambers, Celeste, you reach forward and you feel cold. The feeling of metal. As you reach forward and grab your hands onto these solid metal bars that are in front of you. A few seconds later, the door, Freddy, where you're standing, immediately shuts, closing directly behind them. The darkness
Did I trigger my action this time and attack the fucking door?
You can attack it.
I will smash this door with my mace.
Go ahead. Give me an attack.
Don't worry, Just you're hidden in this, like, 5 by
10 by 10 cell.
15 to hit the door.
Okay, give me your damage. Okay. Not enough to destroy the door. You see a chunk of the wood kind of flick off of it. But the door still closes. Few seconds pass and the darkness begins to go away. Up ahead, Actually, let me go ahead and give you the proper readout of this. As you stepped into the room and kind of wait and pause for a second, kind of feeling your way through the darkness, Jest and Celeste grabbing onto these bars, you begin to hear the sound of footsteps surrounding your position, the sound of wood creaking and the door slamming behind you. Just as you immediately turn and grab for the door, you find that it's solid steel directly behind you. And there are no doorknobs or latches on the inside of this. A few moments pass and the darkness around you begins to completely drop. Begin to look around, kind of gathering your bearings, noticing the giant cell that surrounds the entry of this. And surrounding it, 5 archers, their bows drawn, arrows nocked, pointing directly at you within the cell. In the middle, the individual you've been chasing, the masked assassin responsible for the death of Sarge. But this individual, they seem familiar. The drow assassin kind of holds his hand up a bit, just kind of a motion to wait and kind of see what's about to transpire. He reaches up, pulls the mask down, and flashes a bit of a smile at you and says, "I believe you're lost. For an assassin's fate is not for you to decide. In fact, it's quite the opposite." And he reaches down and grabs into his pouch. He pulls out this small scroll, and he leans it forward, tipping it between the poles of this cell, handing it over towards Celeste.
Can I read it from where he's holding it, or do I have to actually grab it?
You'd have to grab it.
Okay, I'll let loose the bowstring I was, drawing back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll grab the scroll.
Okay. You grab onto it and notice it's bound with a little string across it. It's not very big, about 3 inches in width, based on where it's at. As you reach up, and I'm assuming you're going to unfasten it.
No, I'm just going to hold it there.
Okay.
No, I'm actually going to read it.
Okay. As you pull the string to untie it, you take a look, and there are 3 small pieces of parchment within it. 3 sketches. The first, Verdadas Tower, where Amriel Gladamain is sitting at her desk, and the very dejected-looking Celeste is heading off to her bedroom. The second is Queen Mariel, being accompanied by the members of the party to her private quarters in Upper Toledo. And the last, the sisters, Circe and Calypso, accompanying Jest to the Starlight Temple where they stayed the night before. The assassin looks at you as you kind of look over these sketches and says, "The way I see it, your choice here is simple. You retreat through that door which you just came. You don't look back. You don't speak to Evan Company. And I'll let you live. Your families will remain safe, and you will continue on with this existence you call a life, as long as nobody knows anything that you have seen here." He stops for a second and says, "Or you stay here, your life is forfeit, your families will suffer for your actions, and everything you think you are working towards will be for naught. If you don't believe my words, then perhaps you should check back at Evan Company and your friends in Government Center Station. I don't think you'll like what you'll see." He stops and turns and starts looking away. As he begins to walk away, he says, "But this, my friends, this is not your moment. Go back home. Let us take care of the dirty work." What would you like to do?
Just is going to laugh. And as it continues to go on, it starts to get deeper. And then she's going to morph into Kai.
Okay. Wait, let's see. Can I? I can. Okay. Celeste, directly behind you, you hear Jess laughing, and then suddenly you notice her form completely changes, taking this form of Tyrus, which she had become acquainted with when she was in the Hall of Remembrance. The assassin stops, hearing the laughter, turns and looks around, looks over where Jess was standing, seeing this vision of Tyrus, and chuckles. You. This is the form you chose. Well, the Lich Queen is not going to like this one bit.
I'm sure she wouldn't.
She will learn very, very soon of all of your misdeeds. You weren't exiled from the Order for no reason, after all. Think you could hide amongst the common rabble here? Who do you believe you are fooling?
And who exactly do you believe you are fooling?
You believed yourself to be a god. You are nobody. Or just a man that crumbled under the pressure of his own power. You'll be nothing once the Lich Queen gets here.
And you forget all the destruction that I have brought. Sooner it'll be mine again.
That's quite interesting. Tell me, how are you going to survive several arrows being plunged into your chest, my friend?
The same way I've always done. I have many forms.
Give it time. I'm sure you won't be living up to any expectations anytime soon.
Oh, but I think the feeling is mutual for the both of us.
The door suddenly opens directly behind you. The individual, the assassin, turning and looking at you and saying, "Very well, then we'll part here. You'll survive for the day. And soon enough, we'll take care of you. You don't have to worry."
In time. And he's going to turn and kind of...
You cut out there.
He's going to turn slowly and usher both of us out the door. But kind of regally. Like
Okay.
he's a no.
Okay. Both of you step out. Yeah,
Yes.
that's not disconcerting at all, is it?
And then Rylan happens to be walking by at this exact moment. And Pandora.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jess gets an Eldritch Blast from a high-level PC.
Pandora's just sitting on a tower somewhere, and she's like, "I knew it."
I was always right.
Once she gets back out, she'll change back into her drow form.
Okay. I just did this. What am I doing? Oh, right. I gotta right click on it. I love that feature, by the way.
That's awesome.
So you step out, changing your form back. As soon as you step out of the door slams shut behind you. Once again.
A lot of fucking rude people in this room.
Celeste is going to hand Freddy the scroll.
Do you think it's magically imbued?
I don't know. Is it magic? I don't know. Arcana. What was it? Probably that. Or
I don't know. I don't got anything like that. So,
Uh,
but I don't want to like burst into flames or
I mean,
like-
so an Arcana check, you would, if you're looking it over, you would basically be looking for runes or something that would lead you to believe that it had magical properties. It wouldn't tell you if something is imbued with magic, though. Like
I
from
do like a perception check to see if it's like enchanted at least. Like, do I see like it has a like a magical essence or aura to it?
Sure, the three of you can actually do that if you want. Okay. Freddy and Celeste, both of you, as you're looking over this document, you're noticing, Celeste specifically notices there are some really fine details in this sketch of her. Like, things that the normal eye wouldn't catch, things that wouldn't normally be perceived. Somebody's been paying very, very close attention, like down to every little, stitching within the armor that Celeste is wearing, or the fine little minor details in the dress that, what is her name? What is your mom's name? I forgot it already. Amriel. Thank you. Everything just seems over the top accurate.
Is it an actual sketch or is it like the photograph, like what Jess has seen before?
That is a good question, and based on your perception, these are actual sketches. As you look them over, it looks like somebody had taken like a pencil and sketched out all of the details of these very specific scenes.
Okay.
It does look very, very accurate to you, like Celeste, like I was mentioning. Like, you're looking over it and you're like, holy crap, like they caught everything. Like, they didn't miss a single detail.
I just have an idea, but I don't know if this is going to be too metagamey or not. But Based on like the vantage points that these sketches are from, what I surmise that it is someone that's watching, or was it like possible that these images were
Like an
obtained,
arcane
so
eye
to
or
speak,
something.
from an arcane eye or a scry? Like,
Give me. Give me another perception check, Freddy.
dang it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these, as you take a closer look, the angles look natural. Like, it doesn't feel like you're like looking at it from like a helicopter somewhere. It looks pretty accurate and natural, like as if it could have been somebody walking and passing, you know. They walked by and saw the scene, and that's what they sketched out, or they've been watching and that's what they noticed.
Did they leave their signature on it? Because if they didn't, they're not a true artist.
There is no signature on these.
What a scrub.
I mean, I know I'm sketching this because I'm a creepy stalker, but I'm gonna put my name on this because that
there's
can only
probably,
lead
like
to good.
initials or something
I mean,
like that, or
yeah.
like signal, like emblem.
Of course, I mean, what artist wouldn't want everybody to know that you're stalking, like,
I mean, they're
important
probably
people.
pretty famous, so
yeah, absolutely.
they're that good without being noticed.
This has made me think something entirely random, but if anyone's ever seen the show White Collar, you would know that any truly good artist or forger would always have some sort of telltale sign they put in their work. We need some forensic scientists that. Anyway, Freddy is gonna look. First of all, after he collects himself, because he just saw Tyrus walk out of that, he's gonna look at Celeste and be like, "Where did you get this? What's going on?"
A few moments later, you begin to see the members of Ebb & Company start to rush forward, answering your call.
Still looking at Celeste.
The assassin in there showed me these and threatened us.
Of course they would, but like,
They threatened
how
our.
they got this.
No, they threatened our families, which I guess they're wrong on that account for me because don't have any family. So whatevs.
Nope, I don't see any picture of Belvedere or anyone like that Freddy would know very personally.
As you're having this conversation, the Ebb & Company guards rush up, look over towards Freddy and kind of panting a little bit. Were you calling for us? I thought we heard shouts this direction.
Indeed, we believe we've tracked the assassin to this location. But this front door is a trap. I would not recommend going in there.
Hey,
But
Forge,
don't go in there.
Yes.
can I make a perception check to see if anyone's watching us? Like, not just normal bystanders, but, you know.
They haven't bothered to explain to Freddy,
By-
they haven't bothered to explain to Freddy that, like, they said they didn't want to be tracked. So as far as he's concerned, he's going forward.
Yeah, he doesn't
There's
know.
shit going on here.
You can give me a perception check, yes.
I would not recommend going into this door though because it's a booby trap.
Looking around, you're not seeing anybody. And this wall is completely... There's nothing. It's just the door on the side of the wall there.
And Freddy prods Celeste. He's like, "What happened? Talk to us. Are you guys both alright then? Other than threats?"
Well, they said don't track them. Turn around and we can walk away with our lives. Our families' lives, and yeah.
As you're saying that, the other guard joins and says, "Wait, did you say somebody threatened you? Are they inside?" And he starts walking forward.
Yes, but don't go in. It's a trap. There's still bars in there. They will probably shoot you full of air.
Is there a back location to this? Or there's a window around this one side, isn't there?
There's a window to the north side that you've seen, yes.
I would recommend maybe surrounding the place, getting more guards.
Freddy will run around to the north to the window.
Okay. Okay. Back to the other house. What are you guys doing in here?
Torture is fun.
Torture is fun.
Torture. Is
I'm
fun.
checking out the.
You said there were dudes coming that she went to go look at.
Ah, yes, 1 sec. 1 sec.
I distinctly remember that there were like bodies moving and conversing with each other.
Yeah, so Vivian is, this was going on, and you were kind of glancing around the room. Your eyes glance north, and you begin to see the 3 bodies of these guards kind of mingling and chatting with one another. Standing upright, talking like nothing's wrong. Circe and Calypso, you see Vivian turn and start heading to the northwest.
I will look to see what could possibly have her interest. Do I see a bunch of people conversing?
You see a bunch of dead bodies.
Just kind of reaches over and kind of like smacks her sister a little bit to kind of like get her attention and point over at the weird tiefling that's gawking at dead things.
I've gone over to them and I'm gonna be like, hello.
I'm more insistently trying to get Calypso's attention.
Calypso kind of regards, without really taking her attention off of this clearly still dangerous cultist.
Vivian, you look forward. The 3 guards conversating, though you can't actually hear what they're saying. You're standing right next to them and you can't hear them. All 3 of them, as you walk up and say hello, they stop and look in your direction, but immediately turn back and continue their discussion.
I'm gonna try to touch them.
Okay. You reach forward and the hand slips right through.
Do I get the idea that they're illusions or ghosts or what?
You've seen things like this before.
Have I?
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
What are they?
You've seen them.
They're just guards.
I mean, they're dead guards to you.
She's not acting normal.
She's
Is
not.
there any
No,
kind?
she's not
Is there any
acting
kind of
normal.
check that I could make to see if I can piece together what is going on, or is this like she's just talking to dead people and I have no way of knowing what's up?
What kind of check would that
I'm
be?
going to... Forge, I'm going to message you what I'm going to say, but I'm saying it quietly so that no one else hears me.
Okay. Seriously, you could give me a... I don't know, man. That's...
I mean, so I'm
It's
gonna do
weird.
Arcana because she's gonna be like, clearly there is something affecting my not cousin's mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. You're noticing her reaction isn't... What's the best way to describe this? She doesn't seem very off-put by what she's seeing. Like, almost...
I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. Kind of excited. That would be a good way to describe it. She's walking up and kind of looking over looking over these dead bodies, but looking almost like, straight ahead. And you heard her trying to say hello and then falls silent, and then almost excitement kind of falls on her face.
She's got the madness, sister. There's no hope for her now.
I'm gonna take out my dagger and approach Vivian from behind. It's the only kindness I can offer this crazy person right now. Not really. I'm gonna take my quarterstaff out and bludgeon this prisoner to death. Not to death, but into unconsciousness. And she's weak as hell, so he's gonna get hit a lot.
Ow, stop this. You're just embarrassing yourself at this point.
Do you want me to roll, or can we just assume that she manages to do it enough?
A non-lethal attack. Yeah, you can do it.
She's just gonna bludgeon him.
Probably after like the third or fourth hit, Calypso is just going to be like, no, you got to put your wrist into it, and then she's going to knock him out.
It's like that scene in Spaceballs where he's doing the Vulcan neck pinch. It's like, no, stupid, exactly. You got to do it here.
Exactly. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, no one's getting out of this. Like, the prisoner's embarrassed that he's involved in it. Calypso's embarrassed that her sister's just horrifyingly bad at it.
She's trying so hard.
She just wants to be intimidating.
Yeah, you're definitely able to knock this guy back out after a few strikes. Just like, come on, damn it, I can do it. And finally get him, knocking him out. Vivian, on the other hand, is pretty preoccupied.
Alright, I'm going to look back at Vivian and see if she's still acting weird, because my other working theory was he was doing something weird.
I am standing by the bodies doing my own thing.
I'm gonna look at Calypso, and then look at Vivian, and then look at Calypso, and then look at my dagger again, and then look at Calypso.
She does the like, no. Let's see how this plays out.
I shrug and I take a seat. And then I watch intently at the crazy person.
We're watching intently.
I suddenly burst out loud, like for you guys to hear, "No, don't go, please."
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm going to walk over to Vivian and I'm going to pat her on the head, because I know the pain of when the voices leave.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be back.
A few moments pass, you hear the sound of knocking on the door. Everything okay in there?
Don't come in, we're naked.
That
I'm just.
why?
I'm just-
Sorry,
I'm
that's just
sorry,
the usual response that works.
I'm just gonna be trying to get them to come back.
Calypso will go open the door.
Okay.
Sorry, that's the usual response for family. They usually leave us alone. Hi.
Hi, is everything okay in here? And he looks over towards.
He tried to escape again. I had to knock him out, but otherwise he's fine.
I see. I heard shouting. Is everything okay?
Our friend's not right in the head. She thinks your fallen companions are talking. It's been a traumatic experience for her.
I like do that thing where I kind of like put my arm around Vivian's shoulder and I'm patting her very consolingly.
And technically, I'm not lying. She has been talking to them, and it has been traumatic.
Traumatic for us to watch it.
He did also try to escape, and we did have to knock him out. None of the things I've said were lies.
He nods and kind of steps forward, checks on the soldier. Wait, what happened to... Never mind, I'm not going to ask. Oh my god, my supervisor's going to have the field day with this. Jeff, come in here.
He was always like that. Bye, Jeff. Sister, we're leaving.
I'm going to usher Vivian out as quickly as I can.
I'll go with.
And Calypso pokes her head back in. Oh, by the way, he's a magic caster. He will try and attack you. The bindings on his wrists are not enough to prevent it. Just so you know, so you don't die.
Circe goes over to one of the guards and hands him a pamphlet to the Temple of Xiphon, then leaves.
Much like all the others that you have handed this pamphlet to, he takes it in his hand and looks at it and kind of raises an eyebrow to you.
She's already gone.
yeah, we're gone.
Okay. Let's go.
Then he uses it to frame the Church of Couters.
Don't give the DM ideas.
I just did. I can't take it back now.
You know what? All of Celeste's family gets murdered horribly, and she finds
we're part of Celeste's family.
I mean, not really.
Technically,
not really.
they're considered family.
You're like a second cousin.
All right. Anything? So back over here where Celeste, Jess, and Freddy are. What are you doing with these guards that are trying to make their way past you?
There's a steel cage on the inside door that this door closed when we got through. Multiple bowmen on the other side. It's basically a shooting gallery.
The one. Go ahead.
I actually walked around, so at some point do I see anyone inside the window? Can I be able to see through?
As you made your way over towards the north, again, kind of trying to peek through the cracks and openings in like the slats of the shutters that are closed here, you're taking a look in and nothing. Like nothing.
Well, shit.
Like, you can see in there now. It's clear as day, but there's nothing.
Perhaps there's another trapdoor. Like the other place.
Also, that should be gone too.
I think they Freddy will come back around and say, I think they're cleared out, but be cautious going in there. I don't, just in case. Which, can they even open the door back up after it closed?
I don't know. You guys didn't try.
Freddy's gonna try going around the other side, like that fence. But there's that fence area back there. Can I get over the fence?
Yeah, it's like a 3-foot tall wooden fence, like, and it's very basic kind of fence, like just wooden slats going across from pole to pole. Not a very well made one. As you walk around the back, you do notice several barrels and crates. You notice a camel kind of laying down in the middle of the sand. As you're kind of wandering through, you kind of step through and make your way between the slats of the fence and step over to the other side. The camel kind of turns and stares at you, just watching, and continues on, doesn't care about you anymore.
Fair. I don't know. Do I see the back door?
As you make your way around here, you do see about right here another window, very similar to the one to the north, also barred shut like the other one. This one in a little bit better condition, not many areas to kind of peek through. And then off to the south, you do see yet another door.
I go to that one, I try to open it.
Okay. As you step up and grab onto the latch, click, click, click.
Locked.
Locked.
I'll shout for there's a back door back here, but it's locked.
Okay. Celeste and Jest and the two guards hear your voice kind of echo around the building saying that you found another door in the back and it's locked.
Is there any footprints or anything of like people leading to this door or anything?
You see a wagon trail that seems to go from the back door leading off this way, but it looks pretty old, like it's been there for a while, like kind of very deep ruts into the ground, but outside of that, no.
No other tracks besides my own.
Just your own footprints that you're seeing coming through here.
I'm gonna go hop the south fence.
Okay.
And find like the nearest person and just ask them, did you see anyone come out of this building recently?
As you wander down here, you do see a commoner who's kind of passing by, and you walk up to them asking, if they've seen anybody, and they kind of shake their head. No, I haven't seen anybody come out this way.
Has anyone made their way around the back yet?
I
Any other
have
guards?
come as soon as I heard his voice.
Okay. Jess, what are you doing?
Standing there out front, looking at the guards.
The one guard starts to walk forward and, come on, let me go in, take a look. I'll see what's going on here. And I mean, you're saying there's an assassin here.
Yes, there was the previous assassin that assassinated the other guardsmen, I believe. A couple buildings over. I don't recommend going.
Right inside. Why wouldn't I want to go inside? He starts to reach for the handle.
When Celeste gets there, I'll lead them to the back door.
Okay.
So is there anything you can do about this?
I mean, if you've signed a death contract, I'll go right ahead then.
He kind of looks at you and raises an eyebrow and reaches forward and grabs onto the door handle. You hear the latch, and then he pushes, goes to push forward, but nothing happens. It doesn't open. He nods, reaches over to his side, pulls out the gauntlet that you had seen the individuals that were wearing, are the Ebon Company guards that were on the SLR. They had this similar gauntlet like to unlock the door. He reaches and places this gauntlet on, kind of closes his fist, and with a very powerful kind of punch, almost like a stomach high punch, punches towards the edge of the door where the latch is. You see it burst open. As it does, there's nothing inside. Literal nothingness. The entire chamber is empty. The cell that was in front of you is gone, and dust covers the floor.
Alright, so she's gonna walk in and explain to them that there was the cell in this general area right over here, and there was an archer there to her right, and then 2 or 3 more with the assassin in front of her, and then to her left there was another one by the window. As soon as we walked in, there was nothing but darkness, so we couldn't see. And then when it was lifted, we saw these men in there.
Both the guards kind of look at you and look around, and I don't see any cell here or men. This place looks abandoned. Are you guys playing pranks on us, you kids?
Absolutely not, officer.
We
I
have
would
like a
suggest
40-year-old
we look
with us.
around. Perhaps look for a trapdoor that leads elsewhere. There are all different kinds of ways an assassin could escape.
Just prank, bro. He kind of looks. The two look at one another, just like, I can't believe we just wasted our time for this.
Man, I heard Jeff and Bill are hanging out with the Paradris sisters. I mean, this sucks.
So you aren't going to investigate it at all? You're just going to rely on sight and just shrug it off? Someone just killed, the assassin killed a bunch of other guardsmen, your comrades. Doesn't that matter?
I mean, it does, but this, we barged into somebody's home, and it's probably a for sale home, and I think we just broke that door. I don't know. Fine,
Okay.
We'll investigate. We'll investigate, okay? But there's nothing here.
I can
You know
see
what?
now why the Flaming Fists are still in business.
Oh my god. Justin's like, please, someone just...
Help me.
That might be xenophobic and racist, but
She's like, do
My
you
God.
need me to join? Like, because clearly you are not very good investigators. This is not working.
You're right, they're not very good investigators.
You know what? Who commands you? Like, maybe I should speak to someone higher up.
Who? Wait, what? Do you want my supervisor? Is that what you're asking? Are you asking for my supervisor?
I am asking for your supervisor.
Jane's just named to Karen.
give me your badge number.
Give me your badge number. He
I need to
stops.
speak to your manager right now. Oh my god.
He looks at you and says, well, I mean, I I report to Officer Stevens, but I mean, Kasara Argent is the leader of the Evan Company. If you have any real problems, maybe you could take it up with her. But since you're giving me so many problems here, Karen, I think we're going to go. I barged into somebody's house for you, as he's, like, saying under his breath as he's walking away.
Well, I am not blaming you for doing what you did. I'm simply inquiring who is your supervisor, since you two are awfully busy, that someone else can come and investigate.
You watch as the individual reaches up, places his hand again over the right shoulder of his outfit, and you hear him say, "There's a disturbance here." Begins to rattle off the address. This individual told me that there was an assassin or something sent here. There's nothing here. We need an investigator to come out here, please. I don't have time for this. I'm supposed to be home right now. Whatever. Signing off. He starts walking away.
Thank you.
Does he include whatever in his official report?
He does. 100% does. Just whatever.
This is why the flaming fist is still in power.
Exactly.
You could tell he is so not thrilled about being called to run all the way over here for nothing.
I mean, he did run pretty slow. So
I mean,
maybe it does work out some more.
At least he didn't stereotype the changeling like others have so far. Okay.
He's a drow right now.
Just
I'm a drow.
under his breath, he's like, "We need a squad over here. The subject is a drow."
Not even supposed to be here today.
But I do want to speak with someone else because she knows what the assassin looks like.
Okay. Celeste and Freddy, what are you guys doing?
You found something, Freddy?
Well, I was going to say, you can attempt to get through the back door, but I'm not. Short of breaking it down, it's not much way to get in there. So, I don't know if you guys. How adept you are at taking care of such a thing. And as it were, it seems that, well, they didn't leave through any way out of this house.
Begin to walk over to the door. Let's see. As you're wandering by, Celeste, your attention is drawn to the two archery targets to the west. You do notice as you're kind of wandering by and giving it a little bit of a closer look, these archery targets, while they have a few stray arrows pointed in them, as you look a little closer, you're noticing giant holes where it's almost like precision shots are drilled into certain spots on these. As you kind of look over this, and Freddy's talking about the door itself looks like it's been far less used than the western door was, and this one looks pretty well sealed. Like the door itself looks almost brand new. Freddy kind of jiggling on the handle trying to get it to open. Nothing happening here. Kind of called you over to take a look.
Is there a welcome mat?
There's not a welcome mat, no.
The front door looked all, broken and down and all that. Do I see any weaknesses like that here?
None. No weaknesses like that.
I'm gonna look around inside very carefully to see if there's like any weak spots on the floor.
Okay.
I don't know if it'd be perception or survival.
Are you just checking around your immediate area?
Yeah, she's gonna move.
That would be investigation.
Right.
As soon as you begin to step forward, whack! Walk right into metal bars. Or what feels like metal bars, anyways.
She's gonna laugh again.
Those are the worst guards. If they had walked like 10 feet, they would have found something.
Literally, as she's laughing, she's just like, "This is the worst day."
This is the worst day ever.
Not the day you went to jail for killing someone.
And then
Not that day.
it gets worse as the illusion drops and all the arrows fly.
Yeah,
We were still here.
standing there the whole time listening.
We're still here.
We heard everything. You had one job, not to mention that we were here, and you did it as soon as you walked outside.
Pretty much.
Raises like both middle fingers.
Note to self: travel back in time and murder her family before she becomes an orphan.
That'd be the way to do it. No, he's the reason she became an orphan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of course.
There
Time
we go.
traveling. Time traveling assassin trial. Got it. So no, you don't see any loose boards or anything around you.
Wow, these steel bars are just magnificent. Probably the best. She's gonna walk back out.
Okay. Celeste and Freddy, what are you guys doing?
I want to go check out this window.
Much like the one to the north, wrought iron bars holding it pretty well sealed up. Like you reach down and try to grab on the shutter to open it, and it doesn't even budge. That's how tightly it's sealed up.
Pretty will go check out just at this point since they have come.
Okay.
Make my way quickest around and go back up to the front.
Once Freddy leaves, I'm gonna try to bust the door down.
Okay. How are you gonna do that?
Strength.
Strength.
Basically, I don't know thieves' tools.
Mad flexing.
Okay. You lean back, prepare, charge forward with your shoulder. Give me a strength check.
Oh.
Ouch. Give me a d20 roll.
Three.
You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you knock your shoulder out of socket, trying to jam it into this door that doesn't budge.
That's rough.
You probably hear that.
You just had to get above a 5, man. Just had to get
You
above a
underestimate
5.
my die rolls, or you overestimate.
Freddy hears this, he just sighs and keeps going towards his chest. It's just like, oh, jeez.
As you make your way forward, you see the door swung open. Emptiness, except for the bars that are in there. Don't see anything else,
Hey,
though.
Check out these bars. Pretty sure there might be, an illusion on this place, but can't see. But you know what I can do? I can fire an arrow through the bars to see if it hits on the other side.
Yeah, you can try that.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. You grab the short bow, knock the arrow. As soon as you release, you watch it fly between the metal bars, thunk, right into the back wall.
They're lucky unlimited on arrows.
Celeste, anything else you would like to do down there without your thieves' tools or anything like that?
No, I'll head back to the group.
Okay.
This door has bested me.
I did my best.
I took more damage from that door than any other battle we've been a part of.
Oh, wow.
Also true. Your mic's open, Rin.
Well, I don't think there's anything else that we personally can.
We can open that back door.
I mean, we could light the place on fire, too. Good thing there's nobody in there.
So what are you guys doing?
I don't know. Do you want me to try to go open whatever door that you need help with?
I think it'd be a good idea.
I'll lead the way.
Circe, Calypso, and Vivian, you see the two guards that were over here at this building with Celeste, Freddy, and Jest wandering north. You see them kind of walking together through the intersection. And then they start turning and making their way over towards where you guys are at. They regroup with the others, just kind of switching over and kind of holding their place and letting the others go about their business. And you overhear something about some stupid kids playing a prank on them and sending them into an abandoned house.
Circe knows exactly where everyone else is.
So for now, there's bars that are visible. Nick sees them.
Yeah, we just continue because it sounds like we're heading in the right direction.
Okay. Eventually, the party begins to regroup. Bring Calypso here, bring Circe here, and bring Vivian here.
Yeah, Freddy's like 40 or something now.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his 30s, but yes.
I think he's in his 70s now, isn't he?
Yep, he's completely super duper old.
He's totally 90 now.
Just lived to 110, surprisingly.
Just celebrated his 150th.
He's actually a half up this entire time.
Jess kind of fiddling around with the thieves' tools, not really super proficient at it. She has...
Could I use a guidance and help out? Sorry.
I mean, you can, but not now.
There.
You could do it next time.
I'll just keep trying. Try
Oh,
again.
guidance this time.
Okay.
I get a D4.
Yep, get your D4 roll in there.
17.
As I scroll through my thing, trying to remember what I set the DC at. Still locked.
I'm gonna go wandering around the building to find the bozos.
I'll try one more time.
Also, can I get a better look at those precision arrow marks?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
That's not going to do it. You can give me an investigation check, or... Yeah, just investigation check's fine.
15.
You're noticing the marks here aren't just marks of arrows, but crossbow bolts and something that looks really weird and almost out of place. As you kind of dig through it, you see this really weird looking... you know how, like, on a crossbow, or on a crossbow bolt, the tip of the arrow, like modern crossbow bolt, the tip of the arrow is like a cone, like a cone point. You see something like that has a couple of slats built into it on the top and bottom edges of it, and it's kind of impaled itself into the wood of this target.
Can I take this bolt?
Yeah, you can kind of dig around, and like if you have like a knife or something, and kind of dig it out if you wanted.
Yeah.
What kind of roof does this place have?
Just a normal standard, just pitched roof, just wooden shingles and stuff like that. I could show you. Hold on. I have to move it. Because I had to drag it out of the way for a second. Here you go.
It's a very terrible house that doesn't have a chimney.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a hut.
Almost like a hut. But you also live in the desert, so... Are you gonna try again?
Oh gosh, I guess. It's like I'm playing Fallout.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it. As you reach forward, using the lockpicks to try to jiggle the door open, you're able to lift the latch. You hear the latch actually kind of unhook, and then the door slowly begins to creak open, exposing the room directly in front of you.
She's gonna slide her crowbar into the hinge area of the door so it can't be shut.
Okay. And you place it there and use it to keep to prevent the door from closing.
Yep.
Okay. Calypso, Circe, Vivian, what are you guys doing?
I'm just sitting on the ground.
Calypso's gonna wander inside. Hello? The police were saying there were a couple of idiots in here. I'm assuming that's our friends.
Jess and Freddy, you hear Calypso's voice echo through the room.
Just you.
Ah, I found them. The idiots are here.
Watch out for the bars.
Oh, the ones right in front of me? Yeah, I see those.
My God, you can make Edmund Company detective with that kind of skill.
Hire her immediately. I get the feeling that the way that the Eben Company not here helping you, that everything went well.
We went smashing.
No, there's problems.
Okay, Celeste, why don't you come inside so that I can talk to you then? Hello, and she waves. So
yeah.
what happened?
We found the assassin who led me into that cage you're currently standing in.
She kind of looks at it again. She's like, it's not really a cave. I could walk back outside anytime I want.
There's no handle on the inside part of that door, which ended up slamming.
And then we get the sitcom of, Cersei, don't close that.
I closed the door.
You turn around and look, Calypso, and you notice the backside of the wooden door from the outside is the solid sheet of metal with no handle.
And then I put a sign out front, don't open till Christmas.
Wow, they don't even have that here.
Don't open till
Ever.
St. Ratlin's Day.
There you go. So I'm judging by the lack of corpses on either side that your conversation went well.
They threatened us, told us to stay out of their business, essentially, and gave me this, and I'll hand Calypso the scroll.
And what happened after that?
There were about 6 people with him, I don't remember. And we would essentially be, fish in a barrel.
Okay. And
They
she
gave us a
starts
chance to leave,
thumbing-
and we took it.
starts thumbing through this. How did they manage to get these drawings?
It's a good question.
And what did Empen Company say when you called them?
That there was nothing here.
Right. Well, I'd like to be let out now. She just knocks on the door.
Is there any room in this door to slide a piece of paper under?
You see on the outside of this door, you look to try to find something. Nothing. It's pretty tight sealed door. The metal behind it is painted black to give it the appearance of just darkness on the other side.
So Forge?
Yep.
I opened the door.
I remember seeing a staircase over in this corner. Well, as a player, I'm not sure if I could actually see that from where we were in the cage.
Give me... I'll give you an investigation check with advantage to see if you can recall where it was and all of that stuff. And yes, Freddy, you can also do the same.
I'm gonna get my bow.
Investigation.
Yep.
17.
Here, I was hoping secretly for perception, but I'll give it a go.
Nope, you're searching for a secret door. Unfortunately for you, you don't get advantage on it because you didn't actually see it.
15.
Celeste begins wandering, saying, I remember something over here, and kind of stomping. And then a hollow thud She kind of steps this direction. Nothing underneath of her foot other than the supported wood blocks, basically, or slats that are going across the floor there. Just a hollowness underneath of it.
I found something.
Oh, excellent. I'd help, but I'm still stuck here. And
I opened the door.
Pounds.
I opened the door many minutes ago.
I think Clips
Open
is
it.
traumatizing it.
Open the dang door. No, sorry. The last thing I heard was you trying to find the note.
Oh, no, I opened the door. Well,
I-
you're free. You're free.
I come around so that I can get inside.
Okay.
That.
Yep. And Celeste, as you're kind of looking over, again, kind of your foot kind of bouncing off the floor. Oh, I'm on the wrong level here. Foot kind of bouncing off the floorboard there. You walk up, taking your knife and trying to pry underneath of the wood slat. You are able to eventually reveal that all of those boards over this section are kind of mounted together underneath. And they do reveal a staircase that leads downstairs.
See, I knew I saw something.
Where in the balls are the effing company now?
Being useless?
Eating donuts?
Well, it sounds like our only course of action is to continue pursuing these assassins.
Perhaps, but Celeste did actually finish telling me what exactly the assassin comrades told you.
Oh, that should go here.
Why did they have this, and what? Besides, they threatened. What's going on? Did they explain how they got these images?
Guys,
Yes, Celeste, that is a great question.
I'm sorry.
Freddie was
Freddie's-
asking you questions.
I was asking, like, what they explained anything else besides, like, where they got these sketches and what else they said besides the threat. Because we still haven't told.
Well, we have no idea how they made the sketches. They just handed us the paper.
They handed us the paper and told us to back off or we and our families would be in trouble.
Wait, they threatened kill our families? Why are we still bothering these people then?
First off, that's pretty standard criminal shill.
Yes, but most standards don't back it up by having elaborate drawings of our everyday actions. Also, I'm going to keep this one, and she rips the one of Jest and her sister and her hanging out, having a slumber party.
Don't. We should keep that tactic in case someone that's more qualified could figure it. Could
Like the Evan Company? And she raises an eyebrow.
more qualified.
Oh, well, we're not going to the Flaming Fist. You have a bunch of non-humans with you.
Don't get why people still perpetuate that literally decades old rumor.
I mean,
Anyway.
yeah, but
You've never run into any racism, human man?
Part of the
Did Thirst just talk?
No, she didn't. That was just out of character.
hardly ever been anything but just specific people.
Well, so are we gonna have somebody else come look at this, or are we gonna go down there ourselves?
I think we need to send word to Gladylmain, Lady Gladylmain herself, about this, because it is disconcerting. And obviously, if someone's trailing us or those close to us, then we need to know immediately, and guards need to be posted. There needs to be improved. There needs to be an improved watch about this because this is getting out of hand. Not that it wasn't already.
Maybe this celebration should be postponed.
I doubt that's going to go over well or be possible at this point. But it's it's not a terrible.
It's not even a decision for us to make.
Yeah. Could bring it up, but I doubt it will get anywhere. And before we go out there, I need to take care of something. And Freddy's going to head out. And I don't know, by chance, I probably don't see him immediately out in the area, but was that kid that we had talked to previously at all lurking around? Or I'm trying to head back in the direction of where Sarge was. See if I can find it.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see the kid in the immediate area. And you do recall where you left him at, so you could go back there if you wanted to.
Just hold tight for now, guys. Let's figure something out before we just go charging headlong into another trap. Also, when I pass by an Ebon Company guard, I'm going to point out that, especially if it's the same ones, I don't know if it is, but, I'm just going to say, you probably want to go back to that house. Whoever, if it's not the same guys, it's whoever was there last did a really terrible job. And then keep going.
But with that, we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. There's no cliffhanger tonight.
Oh.
Cliffhanger, I know.
I stab Vivian. Cliffhanger made. All right, let's end.
Still no rest.
Still no rest.
I'm just gonna make
no rest for the wicked.
I'm gonna nap on the sand.
Should probably come inside. We can nap right here on the floor.
That's true. I mean, I have a portable sleeping bag around me at all times, so
We'll do
seriously,
a
just kind of flops
Also
on the
true.
ground.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna end stream and then I'll be back.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Sounds good.